Warning: this video contains scenes of drawn fictional violence.
Hello everybody, welcome to the channel's first actual video. I'm your host, Seltsam. Today we're covering a topic I have been yearning to talk about, the Walten Files. Now, this is a violent horror story. None of the events told are real, but works of fiction. If this disturbs you, it's best to click off. Either way, let's get into the story. What is analog horror? Analog horror is a form of horror film. It's heavily based around old technology and such, often using home film cameras to portray their stories. Analog horror is often focused around some form of entity, disease, or malevolent demon. Often things like the Mandela Catalog, the Walten Files, and Angel Hair are good examples of analog horror and their themes. While all three of these are good examples of analog horror, Angel Hair and the Walten Files being my personal favorite, the ones we'll be discussing today is the Walten Files. Now, some years back I had discovered the Walten Files. Due to my history of being obsessed with stories like FNAF and especially analog horrors and ARGs, this one naturally clicked for me. This then proceeded to be one of the best analog horror series I had ever watched. If not, the best in my opinion. Chapter 1, Bond's Burgers. Chapter 1 is an introductory tape to the employees. It consists of an introduction to the company, Bunny Smiles Incorporated, created by Cyberfuntech 197, and introducing Jack Walten plus Felix Kranken, the co-owners. In this video, we are introduced to the cast of animatronics, aka the Showstoppers, a ringleader named Buzu, two rabbits named Benny and Bon, and a sheep named Shaw. Shortly after the introduction of all of them, we get a shot of a gray cartoon rabbit, it letting out a jarbled mess of words. And if you're anything like me, a massive fan of ARGs and analog horror, you recognize this as a backwards message. It says,
"You finally start to remember. That's all day. They will be back for you soon. Sophie."
In English, that translates to, "You finally start to remember that old doll. They will be back for you soon, Sophie." This marks the end of tape 1 of chapter 1. The second tape cuts to a cartoon of the Showstoppers. In this tape, Bon, in a cartoon form that I'm just going to call Goobers for now, is planning a sleepover with his friends.
For this sleepover, he invited Shah, Buzu, and Billy. Let's check again in case we don't forget any guests. Bon invited Shah, Bozu, and
Now after that unsettling stuff, Bon receives a knock at his door, presumed to be all of his friends, and revealed that Bon has bought an expensive movie for them.
Bon spent all his money on a really funny movie, which he hopes all of his friends will enjoy and will laugh with little Bon. And friends watch the movie.
After that, all of the Goobers sit on the couch to watch the movie that Bon had bought. A really funny movie. In fact, I will display the movie on screen right now just to show you how funny it is.
Friends watch the movie. I guess we can say they had a blast of a time.
As an important side note, there's a pill bottle next to the TV. The name reads Sophie. The text under it seems to be the words Walten, thus implying that Jack Walten is related to Sophie Walten. Soon after, the tape cuts to all of the goober versions of the Showstoppers going to sleep, including that weird fucking clown. Soon after, Bon is then woken up in the middle of the night by a noise he hears in the living room. I'll let this scene play out since it's really hard to describe it with words, for me at least. As Bond flicks on the lighter, the shot cuts to Sophie, standing in her room, seemingly alone. The lighter illuminates something in the background. The real Bond. Well, that was actually terrifying. Anyway, this confirms that Jack Walten had went missing in 1974. His missing poster is saying so. This marks the end of Tape 2 of Chapter 1. Then moving on to Tape 3 of Chapter 1. Tape 3 is a tape of one of the K-9 facility caretakers on the first day of their job. They're frustrated about how deep the facility is in the forest, and that hasn't been working since 1978, which the character says was 4 years ago for him, so the years clocked in at 1982. Soon our caretaker enters the facility, finding multiple paintings/photos, all of which are all around Felix Kranken and Jack Walten. The tone of the tape and caretaker changing fast. Going eerie and quiet as these images are discovered. Soon enough he moves on, soon discovering Bond. He gives Bond a quick stare for a little minute, then Bond starts acting out on its own. Then after a minute of Bond doing stuff, Bond starts freaking out. The shot zooming in on his face, and then this happens.
Let's check the left arm. Yeah, the left arm. The left arm.
Well, that was terrifying. Soon after Bond begins crying, Tari starts to chase the employee. I can't describe the chase with words, so I'll just show the video. And this strange face appears for a minute. It has no lore relevancy. I have no clue why they added it in, but it's there. Speaking of strange faces,
And then Seltsam's voice got tired and had to be AI for the rest of the video.
The K-9 facility worker's head is beaten in, and he's missing parts. It soon displays his ID on screen.
it's soon revealed in his ID that his name is Brian Stells. Then soon after, text appears below his ID saying,
"You thought he was hurt."
Closing off this chapter. And that's chapter 1. Credits where credits are due. Kevin MacLeod supplied background music, including Pulse, Right Behind You and I Feel You. The Walten Files YouTube channel for making the Walten Files, and my cat for motivation in these trying times. This week's question asks,
Hey, even on the last season that was taken off air, you doing that voice always seemed to hurt your throat. Will you ever stop using the voice, Seltsam?
doing the voice does actually kind of hurt after a while, hence why the old season used to have shorter videos. Now, thanks for the question, subscriber. We'll see you in the next video.